Get ready to hear the truth about America on a show that's not immune to the facts with your host, Dan Bongino.
Ladies and gentlemen, what a nightmare last night. A nightmare. I'm not even kidding. I'm not messing with you. And now you see all this fawning coverage from the media, CNN, MSNBC, and others trying to rescue tyrannical police state supporting communist Bernie Sanders, who will now be mainstream. Folks, this is big. This is huge. I've got a lot to talk to you about. New Hampshire primary last night, big developments in the Mike Flynn case. And if you'll allow me in the beginning to emote a bit, I am really going red zone on what's happening right now in this country. It's a disgrace. And last night, our long national nightmare with socialism, sadly, was resurrected. Welcome to the Dan Bongino Show. Producer Joe, how are you today?
Boot edge. A moderate?
I know. Wait, little inside baseball. Joe is having a rough time with boot edge, so I told him boot, edge. Yes, he's not a moderate either. You're right.
Yeah.
This is a disgrace what happened last night. The Biden campaign collapse, I got a lot on that too, and I want to throw in some extra stuff at the end about Biden, so don't go anywhere. You're going to stack show. All right, good to hear. I know, you got to tell the audience. They're always curious. All right, today's show brought to you by my buddies at Helix Sleep. Thankfully, I have a Helix Sleep mattress because I had a rough night last night that a socialist won the New Hampshire primary again, which is incredible. Helix Sleep is a quiz. It takes just 2 minutes to complete and matches your body type and sleep preferences to the perfect mattress for you. Are you a side sleeper, a hot sleeper? You like a plush or a firm bed? With Helix, there's no more confusion and no more compromising. Helix Sleep is rated the #1 mattress by GQ and Wired Magazine. Ladies and gentlemen, it is hands down the most comfortable mattress I've ever slept on. I've slept on a lot of mattresses in a lot of hotels and a lot of places around the world from my prior line of work. There is nothing like a Helix Sleep mattress. Just go to helixsleep.com/Dan, take their 2-minute sleep quiz, and they'll match you to a customized mattress for you, not for someone else. You get the best sleep of your life. It's like sleeping on a cloud. I took the quiz, and I was matched to the Helix Midnight Lux. Yeah, baby. The Midnight Lux is medium firm and designed for side sleepers like me. I've been sleeping on it for years now. It's perfect for me. They have a 10-year warranty. You get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free. You know why? Because they know you'll love it. But even if you don't, they'll pick it up for you. They don't pick up a lot. You know why? Because you're going to love your mattress. It's like sleeping on a cloud. I love my Helix Sleep mattress. Right now, Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders for our listeners. Go to Helix, Helix, sleep.com/Dan, helixsleep.com/Dan for up to $200 off your mattress order. helixsleep.com/Dan. Go today. Sleep better. Most comfortable sleep of your life. helixsleep.com/Dan. All right, Joe, let's go. Always gets me in the mood. I need that bell now. I've become to rely on. I don't even know if I could do a show on another network or something. I'd say I need the bell. It just gets me in the mood. The response is Pavlovian. It really. Okay. I was going to do some other stuff, and I'm going to provide you with, as always, coverage of the New Hampshire primary last night that you're not going to find anywhere else. Or you may, but the takeaways I'm going to highlight are not the takeaways you're going to get on many news channels, because they're important. But before I get to that, I want to play this cut last night. It's short, brief, of Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders is a socialist. Bernie Sanders won the New Hampshire primary again. I say again because he won it back in 2016 when he was running against Hillary Clinton. But Bernie Sanders is a socialist. Socialism, a system of governing and central planning responsible for the death of literally hundreds of millions of people who have been killed, murdered, tortured, put in gulags, put in forced labor camps, because that's what central planning, socialism, and communism do. And for those of you who say, well, there's a difference between socialism and communism, there is not a difference. They both revolve, their universes revolve around the sun of central planning and the government ownership of the means of production. That's it. You can philosophize and try to wax philosophic all you want. You will never change that immutable fact that when the government runs the economy, your political freedom is irrelevant because you work for them. Well, what if I refuse? Don't worry, they'll just kill you, torture you, or put you in a forced labor camp. That's what socialism and communism are. The Democrat Party last night in New Hampshire, for the second time in a row, because Bernie, you can argue, won the Iowa caucus too. He was so close to boot edge that it's irrelevant, the difference. So now you have the Democrat Party fully backing a man advocating a system that has snuffed out the lives of hundreds of millions of people. Now, listen to Bernie last night, and ladies and gentlemen, I want to warn you before this. It's quite short. It's not overly dramatic. I just want to warn you what he says here. Bernie, he's not kidding. Check this out.
Our campaign is not just about beating Trump. It is about transforming this country.
Transforming what?
Again.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, worse. Transforming what? We are the richest, wealthiest, most prosperous, freedom-loving country in the history of humankind. Sadly, the history of humankind, Homo sapiens sapiens, has been pillage, plunder, depravity, starvation, monarchy, tyranny, oligarchy, and otherwise. That changed with our revolution, a liberty-based revolution, where we have a country now bedrocked and steeped in individual freedom, or we used to. You want to transform that into what? You want to take the locus of control away from the individual, and you want to put it back again with government bureaucrats and central planners who are going to dictate our economy, our education system, and our healthcare system. And if you don't comply, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? Like that delegate we saw from Virginia, that hapless clown, Mark Levine, the Democrat, not Levin, Levine, the delegate from Virginia, talking about what? Oh, Virginians will comply. Oh, you will comply with their gun confiscation in Virginia. Oh, what happens? What happens if you don't? Bracelets, handcuffs, what happens? Prison, what's next? Transform what? You're going to transform what, Bernie? What's your alternative? You think liberty was easy? You're going to transform us into what? One of those socialist utopias that they talked about in the Soviet Union? Yeah, you know, those utopias that were built on dirt, 6 feet of which was about, not even 6 feet because they were shallow graves, maybe a half an inch of dirt over the hundreds of millions of bodies they had to bury to get to that socialist utopia that collapsed, by the way. Democrats out there, what are you thinking? You know, folks, I'm tiring rapidly of these socialist, quote, revolutionaries. I'm tiring them. I'm done with them. I'm done with it. I'm done with the bull. I'm done with it. You know what socialist revolutionaries are? These are people, clowns, jokers, and tyrants who've never had a real job. And the reason they want to impose the pain of forced labor, government planning, and bureaucracy on you, where they take over your factories, your businesses, your education system, and your healthcare, where you have to get the permission of a Bernie Sanders anointed, bow tie wearing government bureaucrat, is because they want to oppose that pain on you because they've never felt that pain themselves. Socialist revolutionaries are frauds. These are not brave soldiers. These are frauds. These are Antifa-like cowards who sit there with their black masks, and the minute you turn around and punch one of these morons in the face, they run crying home to mommy, begging for a s'mores. Bernie Sanders wants to impose the pain of you having to work for the government by giving him your money via taxes, by turning over your healthcare system to him, and by turning over your kids' education to him. The triumvirate of issues that really matter: education, healthcare, and the economy. Bernie wants all of that away from you and with him and his minions. And he wants to impose the pain of that on you because he's never experienced that pain himself. These people are losers. They are losers at life. When you look at people, Cuban refugees, Venezuelan refugees, fleeing the pain and horror and starvation of socialism and government planning, you notice one thing in common with almost all of them, especially here in Southwest Florida, where I live. You know what you notice about them? None of them are socialists. Because they understand the pain of having to work for a living, but being free, being a free man or woman, getting your fingernails dirty in the support of you or your family, that there's honor in work and there's honor in freedom, and that there's no honor or dignity at all and having to work and subordinate yourself to a sleazeball bow tie wearing government bureaucrat who uses the threat of force to force you to work. And if you don't take him up on the offer, you wind up your asses in jail. Revolutionaries. You could take your socialist revolution and stick it up your caboose. You don't know pain. You don't know anything. People are full of crap, every one of you. Bernie bros. You Bernie bro. Hey, man, get a freaking job, dude. Get a job. Go work for a living, like someone close to me's got to do now. Go get a job. Go to the local McDonald's or Burger King or whatever and get a job. I'm not kidding. There's honor in work. You know, work. What you jokers don't do, you Bernie bros. We're going to change the system. The system to what? The system of freedom and liberty where we get to actually work for a living? So we got to work for Bernie? And we're supposed to what? Feel bad for these guys? And then another line, which I had addressed with Joe before the show. And me and him kind of, that's why I had to save it for the end because I'm getting fired up before the show even started. I don't give a flying about your, Bernie's a nice guy. He's authentic. The same thing, Andrew Yang. I asked Yang to be on the show. They didn't take us up on the offer. Of course not. Why would they want to have to actually confront the reality of their own stupid ideas? Yang, he was a nice guy. Bernie's a good guy. He's authentic. Stalin was authentic. He was an authentic killer. Bernie's authentic? He's authentically claiming to take your money, your health care. Do you understand what this guy wants? What is wrong with you? He wants your money, your education system, and your healthcare system. Do you listen to what he's saying? He wants to make private insurance where you can make your own decisions in conjunction with an insurance company, a doctor, or a hospital. He wants to make that illegal. Did you miss that? He's recommending tax rates to pay for his programs, upwards of 60 and in some cases 90% that will be necessary to finance the free stuff he's recommending. He wants a full takeover of the education system to be an indoctrination system. Wipe out school choice and anything associated with it. Did you miss all this? Go over your head? Bernie bros, man. But he's authentic. Yeah, he's an authentic moron. Prescribing things, and he's a hypocrite millionaire himself. He's a millionaire, raving and ranting like a lunatic against millionaires. Oh, but him and Yang are nice guys. Great. Go date them. I don't care. Start a business with them. They're nice guys. Have dinner with them. Make them pick up the tab. They're both millionaires. He's a nice guy. So just to be clear, as he's emptying your wallet, destroying your kid's chance at a future to a viable education system, and making you call up a government bureaucrat to get your damn chest cracked open to save your life, a bureaucrat who's going to tell you to go ram it up your caboose, don't worry. He was a nice guy. He was authentic. Liberals, get your heads out of your collective rectums. It's not a colonoscopy. Wake up. Every tyrant in human history has tried the he's a nice guy route, but he's authentic. Preying on suckers like you liberals, looking for an easy answer. I'm going to get to the easy answers in a second. But folks, it's an underrated movie. I brought it up before. I want to just quickly, if you don't mind. You ever see 7 Days in Entebbe? It's, it didn't get a lot of, I think it got a lot of bad reviews. And candidly, I think it got bad reviews because it's a pro-Israel type movie, and liberals, of course, many of them don't like Israel because they don't like the fact that it's a bastion of freedom in the Middle East. They just don't. It's a decent movie. I enjoyed it. There's a line in that movie, and I never, ever want you to forget it. It's a good one. For those of you who don't know the story, it's a true story. There was a hijacking of an Israeli airliner. It landed in Entebbe. The hijacking went on, and they kept him in Entebbe for days. And finally, the Israelis, who don't take any guff from people, came in, freed the hostages, wound up whacking a lot of these people who took the hostages. But halfway through the endeavor in the movie, I'm not sure if this actually happened or not, but halfway through, where the hostages are being held in this airport hangar in Entebbe, the plumbing breaks down. They can't use the bathroom. So one of the pilots in the movie happens to be a plumber as well. The pilot is now a prisoner of these hijackers who are holding him hostage. So the pilot, who actually works for a living, goes upstairs and at gunpoint by one of the hostages actually fixes the plumbing so the facilities work so they can use them. Right. And this revolutionary communist loser who hijacks the plane, because socialist revolutionaries are losers by trade. That's their job, being losers, because they don't have real jobs, they don't have real lives, and they're really stupid. So one of these socialist revolutionaries at gunpoint, as he's watching the pilot fix the plumbing, the pilot's had about enough of this clown. And he's telling him about the revolution, man, Bernie bros, yeah. Of course, he's not telling about Bernie bros. There was no Bernie bro back then, but you get the point. And the pilot turns around and says to him, revolutionaries. He goes, you know what? 10 revolutionaries are worth 1 plumber. Verdict is in, and that happens to be true. You give me a plumber, an electrician, a carpenter, a painter, a laborer, a tradesman, a craftsman. I'd argue 1 million revolutionaries are worth 1 plumber. You know why? 1 million revolutionaries are worthless, and a plumber isn't. 1 million revolutionaries are worthless. They provide negative value. Socialist revolutionaries. They destroy and wreck everything they touch with their stupid, deadly ideas. A plumber actually fixes stuff for people and adds value to this world. 1 billion revolutionaries aren't worth 1 plumber. Because revolutionaries, socialist revolutionaries, are freaking worthless. Just like the Bernie bros. Oh, we're supposed to kiss their asses, the Bernie bros. You do that. They just want change. No, what they want is death. What do you think socialism is? What do you think it is? Remember that. Watch that movie. I'll take 10 revolutionaries for 1 plumber. I want to address one more thing on this last night. Because if you listen to Bernie's speeches and Boot Edge and Warren and these other jokers and clowns, and I got more coming up on this. You saw this nonsense again about every American has the right to free health care. What does that mean, man?
Yeah.
What does that mean? Everybody, of course, dopey liberals, clap like seals, because they're really not bright. What does that mean? The right to, oh, okay, great. Right to free, meaning what? Have you ever considered, as Dr. Thomas Sowell and Milton Friedman, Milton Keynes and AOC, what an idiot, Milton Keynes, Milton Friedman and other great minds of our time and since past have said, have you ever considered, when you think this through, you have the right to health care, have you ever considered that that's not possible? Well, damn, what do you mean? People don't have the right to free? No, you don't. Because when you create a right to something, you confer an obligation on someone else, tautologically. Joe, this is not a trick question. I'm not messing with you.
No.
But maybe the liberals in the audience who are really not bright will understand this when it comes to the real world. Do I have the right to your services every day? Just ask.
No, you don't.
No, thank you. I don't. I have to compensate Joe. Joe has his company. Joe works for other people. Yeah. To get Joe, I like Joe. Joe and I have been friends for a very long time. I don't have a lot of friends, okay? For obvious reasons. I just don't. I'm serious. I'm not kidding. Joe's in a limited circle of people I call friends. Joe is not working for free. Joe has a company. He provides services to people. I require those services. I have to compensate Joe. And I have to compensate Joe fairly. because I don't have a right to even my friend's services. You do not have a right to go and walk into a hospital and say, I demand a facelift. Now, the Democrats always use the worst example out there. Oh, what are we going to let people die in the street? We don't do that. If you're taken to an emergency room, you have to be cared for. And we've agreed collectively that taxpayer dollars, if someone is indigent or cannot pay, will backstop that. But that's not what Bernie's saying. Bernie's saying let me give you a real example. You have a right to someone else's services, whether you want to pay or not. It's a right. Notice, he didn't say a transactional right. You have the right to engage in a transaction for their healthcare. That is not what he's saying. Bernie is saying you have a right to claim their services, whether you want to pay for it or not. You want to walk in and demand a facelift? I have the right. I have the right to look good. I have the right. Declare the right of prima nocte. Remember Braveheart? It is my right. You walk into it, you just get to claim it. Hey, doc, get your crap together. Get the anesthesia team. I want a facelift. Look, I got a lot of wrinkles, man. It is my right. You don't have the right to. There's no right. You have the right to be left alone by the government. That's what rights you have, because they were granted to you by God to speak, to assemble, to petition, and to practice your religion. Those are not rights granted by government. They may be protected by a constitution, but you didn't get those rights from any bureaucrat. You were born with them. You do not have the right to a facelift in a hospital, because you then obligate someone else to work for you for free, otherwise known as servitude. Secondly, with this free stuff, folks, I'm sorry. You may say, gosh, Dan, we got to try to convince the liberals. I don't want to convince them anymore. I've told you repeatedly, I'm not arguing on this show to convince liberals. They are lost. These are tyrants who voted for a guy last night advocating a system that has snuffed out the lives of hundreds of millions of people. I'm sorry. So what's the point of the show if you're not trying to convert them? I'm not. As I've said to you repeatedly through 5 years of doing this show, my experience in running for office is you only debate liberals because there may be a third party listening, just like they're listening in on this show. And that third party has a brain. And when they hear the stupidity of the liberal arguments, we're hoping to convince that third party the liberals are lost. They want to be ruled because they're weak and they don't know pain and they don't know work. They don't know sweat, blood, and tears. They don't know any of that. These are snuggie-wearing, s'mores mama's basement-dwelling fools who just want daddy government to take care of everything. You're pathetic. You're pathetic souls. You're a stain on this planet. You're a stain to the cosmos. You are weak. All they want to hear about, first we talked about rights, all they want to hear about now is free. Everything's going to be free. My health care is going to be free. My college is going to be free. I'm not paying for your damn college. I'm paying for my own kids' college. I worked hard, man. I worked hard. I grew up above a bar. We had no money. My wife is an immigrant from Colombia. Grew up in Pablo Escobar's Colombia. We had a crappy apartment above a bar that was rat infested. I will never forget. This is a true story. I'm sorry if my mom's listening. I don't mean to offend her, but we didn't have anything. It's not a sob story. I love my scars because they made me who I am today. Gosh, I relish those days when we had nothing and ate bologna sandwiches for dinner, because I'm never, ever going back to that again. Ever. You understand me? No matter what. Ever. And I know many of you feel the same way. I know Joe didn't have squat, and neither did my wife. This is not some show of silver-tongued, wealthy trust fund babies, okay? You want that? Go somewhere else. That ain't this show. And ain't is a word right there. We had nothing. And my mom was with this guy. It's not my dad. It's a long story. Probably putting two and two together if you listen to some of the shows lately. But I forget what it was, around my birthday or Christmas or whatever. But she probably doesn't remember this, but I know I do. And they said, we're going to go visit this guy over at his house. We've got a big surprise. And, you know, when you don't have anything, surprise could mean anything. McDonald's was always a big surprise. I'm not kidding. That was like a big deal.
Yeah.
McDonald's on Friday. It was like, yes, I love McDonald's. So I didn't know what the surprise was. It like a toy or something? You know, I was a young kid. I remember this like it was yesterday. And he had a van. So we drive over to this garbage apartment near PS 68 Park in Glendale. And we walk up to the second floor, no furniture, I mean, a really dingy hole in the wall. And you know what the surprise was? I am not messing with you. It was a rat they had caught in an old mouse trap. And they were like, look, is this cool? I am not kidding. That actually happened. No, I'm not kidding. I was devastated because I actually thought, I was devastated. I really was. I'm not even crying. I'm not messing with you at all. I thought like it was going to be some like cookies or McDonald's. You know, you're a kid. We didn't have anything. And that was the surprise. You know what? That really sucked.
That's a pisser.
Oh, it was a pisser, all right. It sucked, Joe. It sucked. It really sucked. I'm telling you,
I hear you,
ladies
brother.
and gentlemen, it was a really horrible moment. I still remember it to this day. I'm never going back to that. Ever. So just to be clear, you want me now, after busting my butt, my wife, Joe, everyone associated with the show, people working for us at our website, believe me, none of them are trust fund babies. You want us, after working a lifetime, to escape surprises that were dead rats caught in traps and bologna sandwiches for dinner. Bologna, you know when it gets old, it turns, you know what happens with bologna when it gets old? You know, it turns up at the corners, get all nasty. You know, if you've been there, you know, if you've never been there, you have no idea what I'm talking about. You just cook it, it kills the germs.
Just threw some away, yeah. Right.
Yeah. Still eating it. That's hysterical. Proving again, we're not kidding. You want me, after a lifetime of that, where we finally get to a point in my life, you want me now to pay for my rich neighbor's kid to go to college? You want me to pay for what? My even richer neighbor on the other side to get a facelift? You can take that and you can ram it up your caboose because I'm not paying for squat. I will pay for our military. I will pay for our courts. I will pay for our law enforcement. And I will pay for a basic social safety net because in the richest country in the world, there are going to be people who are left behind by no fault of their own. If you have 2 legs, a functioning heart, a healthy body, no kids and no dependents, get off your ass. Get off your ass now and get to work. You understand? Get to work. And the Republican Party platform should not disguise this nonsense anymore. We got to be nice. We got to be kind. No more nice and kind. Get off your ass. Ass, get up, get to work. I'm not paying any more for you. You got kids left parentless who are young? Fine. Fine. Older people who've outlived their savings and have no other options? Fine. People in severe, dire straits who have no options and literally can't work or are disabled, fine. If you can work and you have 2 functioning legs and a heart, there you go, because I can't reach my damn heart because I've got severe arthritis from beating the out of myself for the last 20 years. Get off your ass and go to work. Go to work. 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 There's honor in work. You got to clean a toilet bowl, make it the cleanest damn toilet bowl on the planet. You know there's honor in that. Clean the bowl. I've cleaned toilet bowls in Key Food. It stinks, literally. Get the brush, put the tidy bowl around the rim, and scrub the turds off the toilet bowl. There is honor in that. I am not kidding. Go to work. Mop a floor. If you can't do anything, I mop floors. Don't lecture me. You're telling me to mop. I mop floors. Aisle 4, every night. Special chemical, or especial chemical as my mother-in-law calls it. I mop the damn floor. Mop the floor. Get the mop the floor. If you have there is honor in that. The Democrats want you to think there's no honor in that. There is honor in work. I deliver newspapers, clean bowls, I mop floors, and I clean stinking mausoleums and cemeteries that stunk because they didn't seal the damn thing. They smell, and you stunk like dead bodies, and I cleaned them with the damn Ajax. Get the mop. Get to work. Get off your ass and get to work. Nothing's free. Someone else is cleaning a toilet bowl for your kids' free college. Get to work. Get to work. We're losing this whole movement, this conservative movement, to a bunch of flowery next-generation Republicans who want to kiss people's asses all the time. We can't talk like that. You will talk like that because that's the real world. We can take care of people who legitimately have no other means. You are a single adult male. You are not getting a dime. You want to eat? Go to work. Work. Learn to paint. Learn a skill. Bust your hump. Clean the floor. Mop a damn floor. I did all of this. Don't you dare lecture me. A woman sitting behind me chopped onions at the U.S. Open tennis tournament for 12 hours a day. Stunk like onions. I'm not kidding. I used to work there too. Onions all day. You want to chop onions for 12 hours? How do you think that's cute? You think she loved that? Stinking like onions all day? You have to like wash yourself with special chemicals, especial chemical. Go to my mother because you stink all day. Chop the freaking onions. You don't have the right to anything. Nothing's free. And you damn well don't have the right to the fruits of my labor or anyone else on this show. Go to work. Work. Bernie bros. But they're nice guys. Get to work. Get off your ass. Get to work. One last time. Separate your ass from the seat and go to work. That's our message, conservatism. Go to work. All right. I can see you over there. I just what?
Well, it is what it is, man.
It is what it is. It's no different.
Say it.
If there ever was what it was, it is what it is right now. And I am really tired of this commentary. It's infuriating. This commentary about Bernie. He's a nice guy. He's authentic. Maybe we should be. I'm done being nice. All I'm interested in is the truth. Go to work. All right, let me take a break. I still haven't gotten to the coverage here. That was a rather long segment. It was unintended. All right, today's show also brought to you by our buddies at Genucel. Again, more in New Hampshire coming up afterwards. Go to Genucel.com and enter promo code Dan30 at checkout for this special deal. Ladies and gentlemen, what's your gift this Valentine's Day? How about taking 10, 15, or even 20 years off of your appearance with breakthrough Genucel jawline treatment? No more turkey necks. Thank you. A little delayed on the turkey neck. We need that, Joe. It's become more. People look forward to that. Come on, guy. No more turkey necks, double chins, or sagging jawlines. And it works amazingly. We need some comic relief. That was intense there, man. I only planned on spending 5 minutes on that. We're 30 minutes in. Just listen to Linda B. from Marina Del Rey. I love your jawline cream. It really works. I mean, I really see a difference, and people never believe my age. It works. We love this stuff in the house here. And from now until Valentine's Day, the brand new Genucel jawline treatment is yours, free when you order Genucel for bags and puffiness under the eyes. I use it all the time before I go on the air. And for results in 12 hours, the immediate effects is also free. Use it right before a hot date, folks. Immediate effects is money. Go to Genucel.com. Say goodbye to that double chin, bags under your eyes, and even those laugh lines and crow's feet. Gone. Guaranteed or your money back. Go to Genucel.com and enter Dan30 at checkout. That's Dan30. That's the promo code Dan30. Call in the next 20 minutes and get the Genucel XV Collagen Builder and Eyelid Lift free plus free express shipping. Last week, order now. Go to Genucel.com, Genucel.com. Enter Dan30 at checkout. That's Genucel.com, Genucel.com, Dan30 at checkout. Okay.
Dude, you caught me mid-swig.
I can tell because you were a little light on the switch there with your trademarked Genucel turkey neck gobble gobble gobble. But it was a good one. People love that. I get a lot of emails with it. Okay, on the coverage last night. So the media now, as I opened up the show, is going to be desperate to change the narrative, and they're going to try to, quote, normalize Bernie Sanders, who is a radical socialist who thinks things are free, thinks you have the right to someone else's services, and is advocating a system that snuffed out 100 million lives, if not more. So they're going to be eager to change the narrative to make Bernie Sanders normal or appear normal. So we're seeing it last night. Here's a tweet. Now, This one's from the alternate perspective. There's going to be some people trying to, because they're still going to give it one last hurrah. They're going to give it one last hurrah before I get to this, to try and get Klobuchar, who they think can beat Trump, to the top, because some people in the media, as they're simultaneously, you saw it last night, trying to normalize Sanders, quietly will acknowledge that what he's suggesting is deadly, is destructive. That you saw Chris Matthews talking about socialism, how from MSNBC, how awful it is, shockingly. But they're going to try and give one last shot to rescue Klobuchar and Bloomberg. So we're seeing it last night. Check this out from the tweet. Let's be clear. This is at Trip Gabriel from the New York Times. I want to pick on this guy unnecessarily here, but New York Times guy. Joe, who won the primary last night? It was Bernie Sanders, right? I'm not crazy?
Yeah, that was Bernie. There's only one winner,
thank you.
Bernie.
You see the little fact checker there. So Trip Gabriel from the New York Times is suggesting that that's not the story of the night. Quote tweet here from his tweet. The number one story of the night is Amy Klobuchar. The number two story of the night, not even Bernie, who actually won. Number two story of the night is Pete Buttigieg coming closer to Bernie Sanders than expected. So just to be clear here, the guy who actually won the primary, socialist, soon-to-be tyrant Bernie Sanders, that guy, that's not the guy. That's not the story. The story is Klobuchar, who finished third. How is that the story? It's the story for one simple reason. They need to rescue Klobuchar or Bloomberg because they quietly know Bernie Sanders will be an absolute disaster for the reasons I just laid out in the first 30 minutes of the show. Now, a couple of things on this. They will, as a backup plan, plan B, if they can't rescue Klobuchar or Bloomberg, they will start to normalize Bernie Sanders. And you will hear the buzzwords. He's authentic, genuine, tells people the truth. You will see this in an effort to make Bernie Sanders, who's advocating for this destructive, deadly system of socialism, you will see them try to normalize him as they simultaneously try to boost Klobuchar. Watch, you will see it. Ladies and gentlemen, you will watch cable news differently after watching this show. Listen to as Bernie Sanders becomes more of a threat to win. Listen to the commentary. The commentary from the people in the MSNBC, CNN ecosystem who just a few days ago were saying, this is trouble. We got to get rid of Bernie. Bernie's a problem. These same people are going to start to talk about how authentic, how genuine. Matter of fact, they should play a drinking game. Like you take a swig of Diet Coke every time you hear about how Bernie Sanders is going to be authentic. Watch it. Watch it happen. I'm telling you're going to see it. But you're also going to see an effort to talk about Klobuchar, the comeback kid, insurgency, Claby Klobuchar, she's going mainstream now. Watch, you're going to see that too. They're going to try and expect Klobuchar, by the way, to moderate even more, start to move away from the socialism camp and into more of a more mainstream Democratic camp now, because she realizes after doing that in the debate where she was the only one who raised their hand saying she'd have trouble with a socialist in the White House, she was the only one, right? Mm-hmm. Expect her to do more of that, because after that moment, she had this little, resurgent campaign going on. Watch that too. MSNBC getting absolutely owned yesterday on the air. This is hilarious. So MSNBC is outside of a primary site in New Hampshire, and of course, they're expecting massive turnout by the Democrats and light turnout for President Trump, because the Republican primary happened yesterday too. I mean, why? For obvious reasons. I mean, why would you turn out to vote in a Republican primary where the results are really, everybody knows President Trump's going to win? More on that in a few minutes, by the way. So they're expecting this massive turnout. Democrats so upset with everything going on, the evil Donald Trump, like the Darth Vader. You're going to see all these rebellion forces showing up. So they're sitting outside this polling site, and they interview this guy coming out, and they're obviously expecting this guy to be a Bernie bro or whatever. And they grab him, and this is one of the greatest face plants I've seen in the last few weeks by MSNBC. Check this out.
I want to talk to. We have a voter out here, sir. You were watching, so you're going to be on television now. Can you tell us who you voted for?
Donald John Trump.
You voted for Donald John Trump.
Yeah.
Look at that. Bernie Sanders is not appealing to you.
The whole ideology would be destructive to the country. It's anti-growth. It's anti-family, it's anti-American, and as a Roman Catholic, it's anti-life.
I love this guy. How do we get this guy on the show? Can we do him on the interview series? I love this. Is great. Katie, the hapless Katie Torr, by the way, who never gets, she was talking about gerrymandering in Senate races last week. Huh? How do you gerrymander a state? That's a whole lot. She's in my top 10 list of dopiest people in the media too. But that's Katie Torr. She's sitting there on MSNBC, and this guy, and she's so uncomfortable because she realizes, oh gosh, this didn't go as I planned. She thought he was a Bernie bro. And of course he goes out there and talks about the destructive nature of sad Bernie Sanders' socialist ideology. Love this guy. Okay. Takeaway number 2. Warren's done. Forget it. Elizabeth Warren, goose cooked. See you later. Finished. Now, this isn't surprising to anyone. You know, William Jacobson over at Legal Insurrection and Howie Carr, radio host up in Boston, have been all over the Elizabeth Warren debacle. Warren's finished. Warren finished, was it 4th? Biden 5th. I mean, just the disgraceful performances for people who were supposed to be mainstream candidates.
Yeah.
But just a quick video, because I don't want to spend a lot of time on Warren. Honestly, she's done. She's finished. Forget it. It's over. She's going to lobby for a cabinet spot at this point or a VP spot. But you want to see Elizabeth Warren's collapse explained? Now, this audio is going to be a little weird. Some of you watching, if you like to watch a video, it's youtube.com/Bongino. That's my video channel. It's all free. You can subscribe. youtube.com/Bongino. We'd appreciate it if you do that. It's all free. If you like to watch a video. You don't need to watch a video, though. For our audio-only listeners, this audio is going to sound a little weird. It's going to sound like an echo. It is not producer Joe. Joe doesn't mess up audio clips. Neither does Paula. It's not an echo. This is Elizabeth Warren, hattiptownhall.com for this excellent side-by-side. This is Elizabeth Warren in 2 separate interviews. Listen to what I'm telling you. This is not the same interview. This is Elizabeth Warren in 2 separate interviews, played at the same time, saying the exact same thing. In other words, Pocahontas, Elizabeth Warren, fake Indian, who has never had a moment of authenticity in her modern political life, had to memorize a post-debate speech because she can't answer a question honestly. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a teleprompter. There are no words in this prompter other than the spots. It's all from love it or hate it. This is what I'm thinking. Elizabeth Warren had to memorize a canned speech. Listen to this side by side. Again, this is not an echo. This is 2 separate interviews. Check this out.
You know, we've had 3 years now of Donald Trump and Mitch McConnell. And it was exactly 3 years ago tonight that Mitch McConnell tried to pitch me off the Senate floor for reading a statement from Coretta Scott King to try to stop a racist from being nominated to be Attorney General of the United States. And that's when Mitch McConnell said the words that women have put on T-shirts, have embroidered on pillows, and have had tattooed on their bodies. Nevertheless, she persisted.
Dude, as an audio engineer, the pacing of that was amazing. It was almost exactly the same. It was incredible.
Joe, seriously, how many times do you think she read that and memorized it? Probably a couple hundred. She's bright. Listen, Elizabeth Warren's not stupid. She must have read that. It's a script. It's a canned script. Folks, I'm not kidding. I wish I could. We don't have a. We have a 2-shot over there. It is, but we don't have a 3-shot. Like I don't have a camera behind me. I'm not messing with you. I don't have it. I have a prompter, a teleprompter, but it's for returns on Fox, so I can see what's going on in live time. When you're on Fox, there's a delay, so I like to see what's going on in live time because when I'm debating someone, I can see when they're about to talk. But the prompter, I'm looking at myself right now. The only time the prompter goes up and we use it is for spots because the spots companies want. I'm not patting myself back. I'm just telling you, it's an authentic show, whether you like it or hate it. That is not. That's why Elizabeth Warren is finished. She's plastic. She's fake. Totally inauthentic. Memorized the canned speech she gives over and over, thinking what? Nobody would notice? Again, Hat Tip Town Hall. And that was CBS News and some of that. And I think it was MSNBC too. All right, let me get to this. I got one more on Biden because this isn't. That's why Warren's done. But Biden's done for a number of reasons. The great irony of the Biden campaign and the Democrats is the Democrats' impeachment hoax against Donald Trump succeeded. They did, succeeded in impeaching Biden. Biden's finished, and you'll see in the CNN cut yesterday that it's over for him too. Goose cooked. See you later. Find something else to do because this presidency thing is not for you. I'll get to that in a second. Today's show also brought to you by buddies at Duke Cannon. You know I love these reads. What is this? This is their solid cologne in my favorite scent. I get that question a lot. Paula told me this morning. I didn't know. You got to tell me. Paula didn't tell me this before. People want to know what my favorite scent is in Duke Cannon solid cologne. I like Air. You can see here. I'm not joking with you that this is used. I wasn't eating it. This is their solid cologne. You take a little bit, you rub it on, date night, nice little air. Do you like air? Must like air. Things went okay. Can a bar soap be patriotic? That's a lot to ask. It's just a bar soap. No, it's not. It's not a bar soap. It's Duke Cannon's bar soap. Superior quality grooming goods for hardworking men tested by soldiers, not boy bands, and not socialists. They partner with active duty military to develop new ideas, and they review their products. Anything doesn't meet the high standards of soldiers doesn't happen. You know what this is? This is their big American bourbon soap. Look at this right here. Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. Big. I love this side. This is the. Where's the one? Oh, the other one. The other one has on the side. The other big ass bar says that's literally the name of it. It says not for clowns, not made in France. I love this stuff. You want to smell like a man? Duke Cannon. Their solid cologne. Smell like a man even more. You will sweat manhood with this stuff. They now have their beer and bourbon box of big ass bricks of soap. $25 for 10-ounce American-made soap. Smell like manhood. Made with Buffalo Trace, two oak barrel scented bricks. Made with Milwaukee Premium American Lager. They have that other soap, their big-ass beer soap. And yes, Duke Cannon really puts beer and bourbon in the soap because this is America and we can. Did their beer and bourbon box of big-ass bricks of soap today for $25. Their colognes, $20, $25 each. Smell like manhood. Smell like manhood. Don't smell like s'mores and Snuggies. Smell like a man with Duke Cannon. Date night will be spectacular. Duke Cannon solid colognes are the alternative to these offensive sprays that leave you smelling like you were attacked by the mall perfume lady. They're portable, concentrated cologne bombs. They melt at your fingertips for the precise application of fragrance on the go, made with natural organic ingredients. A 1.5 ounce tin lasts a good time, even with multiple applications per day. Duke Cannon is committed to giving back to the men and women serving our country. 5% of net profits are donated to causes benefiting our vets and active duty military. So when you're using Duke Cannon's big-ass brick of soap, don't be surprised if you start humming the national anthem. Visit Duke, D-U-K-E, Cannon, CANNON.com. Use promo code Bongino for 15% off your entire order. Free shipping with orders over $35. A range of Duke Cannon's men's premium products are also available at your local Target. Again, go to DukeCannon.com and use promo code Bongino for 15% off. Smell like manhood. Yes. Okay. So getting back to this, so now we know Biden's done. Bernie's in the lead. He looks like the favorite at this point. Of course, as Joe said in the beginning of the show, boot, edge, fake moderate, really a hardcore liberal himself is creeping. Amy Klobuchar is going to be the media favorite. They will try to rescue Bernie, but Biden's done too. Biden's done because the impeachment, the Democrats, who are usually tactically smarter than this, decided to start and initiate a fake impeachment hoax against President Trump. And in that impeachment hoax, what was brought up, of course, was Hunter Biden's malfeasance overseas. I got a lot on that, by the way, coming up either today or tomorrow. A lot. What they're really hiding with this Hunter Biden thing. That destroyed and decimated the Biden campaign, but Biden did a lot of it himself. Biden's just done. The guy's useless. I'm sorry. He really is. He's not. He's done. He's not the same Biden who debated Paul Ryan years ago. Quick video of CNN last night, turns out at a polling location, and there's two takeaways from this short clip. Number one, I want you to pay particular attention to what the correspondent from CNN says about Democrat turnout. Remember, they're expecting the Trump anger by the Democrats show to be so high that people are going to turn out like they did in 2008 when Obama ran, and they were all excited. Right. Turnout was at record highs. That's not what he says. And then the second takeaway, he can't seem to find supporters of this one candidate anywhere in the entire primary location he's in. Check this out.
We are at Ward 1 in Dover. There are 6 wards here, and this is what it's been like most of the day. Slow but steady. And the moderators at wards across the city are saying much the same in the number of voters that they are getting. They're averaging about 150 voters an hour here. That would put them at about 2016 level, but not 2008 when Barack Obama was running and there was great Democratic enthusiasm. We are not seeing that so far, although they may get a late rush. I've been doing my own sort of unofficial exit poll as voters leave here. Most people, this is a very liberal area of New Hampshire, most people supporting Bernie Sanders. A lot of people, number 2, saying Pete Buttigieg they like. Amy Klobuchar, interestingly enough, a lot of people say they've come round to her since her performance in the debate last week. and then Elizabeth Warren rounding all that out. Most surprising here is that of all the voters I've talked to, and we're talking probably upwards of 100 right now, not a single one saying they support Joe Biden.
Ouch. That one kind of stings.
Yeah.
That's that. You ever box and you think you're going on offense and you throw the guy ducks your cross and then hits you with either a hook and he pivots. You know how much that hurts when you think you're going to hit him and he in fact hits you? That really hurts. He talked to 100 voters. He can't find one person supporting this guy. It's over. It's done. Biden's campaign is finished. He is going to play the race card now out of desperation, like he tweeted this morning. 99% of black voters haven't voted yet. Joe, that's not the way any of this works. Mm-hmm. That's not the way the primary process works. You don't like it? Call Tom Perez at the DNC and change it. It's your system. Are you claiming the whole country's racist? I mean, what's your point? He's done. And the Democrats did him in with their impeachment hoax. Nice job on that impeachment thing. Well done. Finally, on the turnout front. So Democrat turnout, which we saw in Iowa, resembled more 2016, where the Democrats lost the Clinton-Trump election, obviously, than the Obama election, where turnout was massive and Obama won. Remember that one, the John McCain race?
Yeah.
The Democrats were praying that this anger at Donald Trump was palpable, and Democrats were going to come out in mass, like a posse, like an entourage. Not so much. Turns out when the economy's going good, your wallet's nice and fat, healthcare costs are finally leveling off a little bit, regulations get out of your way, and government bureaucrats get out of your life, people aren't as angry as you think they are. But there is an alternate story here. Screenshot I caught off Twitter from Fox News last night. Turnout was exceptional on the Republican side. Screenshot Fox News. Look at this. Trump's record-breaking incumbent voter turnout. Folks, these numbers are staggering. Open your eyes, liberals. There is a freight train coming. It's just not the freight train you think it is. So when all of these presidents were up for re-election and were the default nominees, there was very little serious challenge to them. Maybe Bush, not even Bush 2000. There really wasn't any serious challenger. Look at the numbers. Reagan's running for re-election, 65,000 people turned out. Clinton ran for re-election, 76,000 people. Bush runs for re-election 2004, 53,000 people. Obama runs for re-election, 49,000 people. Trump runs for re-election. 118,774 people showed up. I hear a train a-coming, coming down. Just not the train you thought it was. Get ready. Get ready. One more final note on this before we move on. Gosh, I'm sorry I spent a lot, but that really, I did not intend to spend that long in the beginning of the show. But folks, I'm sorry. This stuff has to be said. It has to be said somewhere. The popular vote matters. Some of you out there, we've now had 2 swing states vote, Iowa and New Hampshire. Where in swing states, people tend to be more engaged. Why? Well, for obvious reasons. In swing states, there's a potential for either party to swing. The Democrats could win or the Republicans could win. They swing back and forth. So there's higher engagement by candidates who think they can win a state. Candidly, no Republicans running an ad in New York or Maryland. They're just not. They're not. Why would you waste your money? You're not going to win those states. So there's very little engagement with voters there. Folks, I'm engaging with you now. You know why? I lived in those states, New York and Maryland, and Joe lives there now. You may say, what's the point, Dan? We're not going to win Maryland for Trump. The electoral votes will go down the tubes. There is a point. I've said this to you. I'll say it again. The popular vote matters. It doesn't matter for the win. The electoral college vote matters. I get that. I understand that. But do not give these media clowns and liberal goofs a talking point again in this next election by losing the popular vote. Your vote will be tallied in the popular vote. I don't care where you vote. Hawaii, Illinois, Chicago, New York City, LA, California. It doesn't matter. Your vote will be tallied in a popular vote, and do not stay home. Your vote does matter. Media coverage matters. It changes the public calculus on the success or lack of in an election. They have been using this popular vote talking point against us, but Hillary won the popular vote for 3.5 years now. Close to it. You have to get out and vote, no matter what. I don't care where you live. There's no excuses. None. Do not give them another talking point. All right. I'm not going to get to this. I'm going to have to get to Flynn tomorrow. Sorry, folks. But the Mike Flynn stuff has just been let me just tease it a little bit. Can you put up the Federalist article? I just want to show you where we're going tomorrow. This is important. It's going to take a little time, and I want to do it justice. Mike Flynn, great piece in the Federalist by Leslie McAdoo Gordon. My visions go. I used to be able to see that real easy. Headline, court to investigate whether Mike Flynn's first lawyers did a bad job. Just quickly, what's going on? I'll get to this tomorrow. And Paula, can you get the Justice for Jussie ready? I got to end with that because that's, I'm sorry. We need, after the intensity of the show today, we need a little, but what's going on, we need a little comic relief. In this case here, and I'll cover it in depth tomorrow. Don't worry. Have no fear. Mike Flynn was represented by a law firm in the past that he believes Lieutenant General Mike Flynn did him a disservice. Of course, President Trump's former national security advisor, who was ruthlessly prosecuted by the government on a fake charge. He is now withdrawing his guilty plea for lying to the FBI because he didn't lie to the FBI. And he's also claiming in one of the other charges that he was ineffectively represented by one of the law firms that represented him. Don't go anywhere tomorrow because you're going to be stunned at who works at this law firm and what's really going on with these prosecutors, but it's going to require a little in-depth. All right, last story of the day. National Review. Again, we need a little comic relief here. Jussie Smollett, hat tip Dave Chappelle, indicted by special prosecutor over alleged hate crimes hoax by Marianne McCardle. You'll see this story in the show notes today. Again, Bongino.com/newsletter. If you want to subscribe to the show notes, check this out. Remember Jussie Smollett, who alleged that he was attacked by a MAGA hat wearing people as Dave Chappelle always says, in Chicago? Yeah. Who dumped bleach on him and put some rope around his neck or something. Remember those allegations? So Jussie, I remember. As Dave Chappelle said, Dave calls him, he's French, Jussie Smollett. Jussie's now looks like he's going to have some legal issues of his own. So that was a long time coming. And, Jussie had a big, remember he did a big media tour after going on these stations, man, crying. I can't believe we got to find those people. We got to find the people that attacked Jussie, justice for Jussie. Remember all those people? Yeah. They may have found them, Joe. It's just not the person you think it was. Looks like they finally may have found some justice for Jussie when they found Jussie himself. Should have just shut his mouth from the start. Mouth closed. All right, folks. Thanks again for tuning in. It's pretty intense today. Please subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/Bongino. But take today's show as a warning. I'm not kidding. Do not underestimate the power of socialism on the weak mind. To people who refuse to separate their cabooses from the seat and get up and work. Do not underestimate its power. Bernie Sanders could win this thing. We got to cut this off right now. Thanks for tuning in. I'll see you all tomorrow. Hey, thanks for tuning in. Today's show was brought to you by my buddies at Brickhouse Nutrition. They make some of the finest nutrition supplements on the market. My personal favorite is Foundation. Now, you don't hear anything shaking in there. Why? Because the bottle is empty, because I use it. I love this product. Check it out. Foundation. It is a creatine ATP blend. Does 3 things. Look better, feel better, perform better. Go give it a shot. Go to brickhousenutrition.com/Dan. Try out this creatine ATP blend and take the mirror test. If you don't believe me, take the mirror test. Before you try Foundation, right? Go check it out. Give it about 7 days to work. Take a little mental snapshot of yourself in the mirror. Look at yourself after 7 days. You're going to love this product. Go check it out. brickhousenutrition.com/Dan. Check out Foundation today. Can't recommend it highly enough. Bottle's empty. Miles, the owner of the company, send me some more. Thanks for tuning in, folks. See you all later.
You just heard The Dan Bongino Show. You can also get Dan's podcasts on iTunes or SoundCloud. And follow Dan on Twitter 24/7 @DBongino.